off and stop bleeding. Come get some. I don't think you have any idea how fast I really am.
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
Deal with the devil.
Hey there y'all, how's it going? It's your boy Luxtor, back again with another World War II video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at something that kind of came from Jets and Fleet Gaming. He did a World War II wish list. Go ahead and check out his video. Because he did that, I kind of have a card balancing wish list that I'd like to see, or maybe something similar to these. Let's get into it. But like really quick before we go in, some quick news. I am switching from the night shift to the day shift. Yay, very exciting. More content. Definitely. And I'll be able to actually interact with people during the daytime, so that's great. Also, hit that sub button and that bell button, because I do give card giveaways when I hit that sub goal. Okay, number one on the list that I have, it is definitely a hot button one. It's Killbot. I love Killbot so much, but I do know he can be a little bit unfair, hard to deal with if you don't have the right cards in your deck. So here's what I propose. A little bit of a rework to him. Change his cost, okay? In baby stage, he'll cost 5. In the teenager stage, he'll cost 6. And in his adult stage, he'll cost 7. Okay? So now the maths on that comes out the same. 6 3 times is 18. 5, 6, and 7 is 18. So your first 3 uses of Killbot will remain the same dough cost. But every cost after that will be 7. So it's going to be costing more and more to be using him over time as the match goes on, which is where the Killbot gets its advantage, is the long-term game. Also, I do think it's a tad bit unfair. He has such a big invulnerability window. So how about he just takes 90% damage while he's in his shell? Yeah? Is that fair? It's a big shell, and, you know, it's robotic. I also think he should be immune to frost while he's in the shell, just because he already walks so slow, and not everybody's going to carry antifreeze, and he'll just die if we can freeze him from afar with a mad scientist, and there's nothing we can do to deal with it. So 90% in the shell, still immune to frost, obviously immune to poison still, but still taking some kind of damage in the shell. Does that sound fair? Does that sound alright? Tell me what you guys think. Okay, number 2 on the list. Definitely one of my least favorite cards, unless I'm using him, and it's just the way that this card goes. Repairman Dan. He's such a huge problem. I think it's because he has too much health. He turns what would be like a regular 2 to 3 minute match into an entirely drawn out match that lasts all 5 minutes just because they have the Dan. He doesn't die to any spells. He can be ridiculous if you don't have the right cards. So I think he should at least die to airstrike, maybe snipe. I don't know, but definitely a little bit of a health nerf. I propose. I think he's just a little bit too strong. Even if we drop his health a little bit and he can die to spells, so what? Vangun dies to spells. People have Spell Rod and Dome to deal with that. You know, there's things you can do to prevent his death still, but if you just drop him and you don't have to worry about him getting taken out by spell, that's a little bit strong in my opinion. Okay, number 3 on the list, it's to help with kind of a big problem we have with the game, not enough air cards. I think at least the Mad Scientist and the Choppa should be able to target air. If we give the Catling gun a health nerf, I think it should be able to target air as well. It doesn't make sense to me that not all ranged units can hit air. You know, if I can shoot far at somebody that's standing on the ground in front of me, why can't I just aim upwards just a little bit and shoot at something that's in the sky? Or as something that flies, why can't I just aim at something that's flying in front of me? You know, that doesn't really make sense to me. And there's not enough air cards in the game, and one of them only targets air, and one of them's a building. So, yeah, I think it'd be nice to have more cards that can target the air as well. Number 4. I think this card is great, a little bit too strong. It's the Cheer Squad. I have an idea, okay? And I did some maths. Y'all can check it if you want. But what I think we should do is we should not just boost the damage that's done. We should also boost the attack speed that's done, but at lesser percentages. I did some math here. Let me see. So at level 9, the 66% damage boost is equal to 32.8%, or if you want to round up, 33% damage boost, and a 25% attack speed boost. So basically what that means, if you do the math, if you want to look at it, the DPS will equal the same. With 32.8%, you can put it as 33, but actually in the numbers, 32.8, and then 25% attack speed boost. Now what that does is that prevents the B-Mon from being a 2-hit kill. We can no longer just be demolished by just 2 B-Mons. Yeah, you know, they're gonna stack it up with other stuff too, but this takes away that problem, and it doesn't really buff it. It kind of transforms it to nerf a too strong of an aspect of it, but still keep all the other stats the same. Because the card boosting up the units was never really the problem. It's when it started boosting up the buildings that it kind of got a little bit different. So in what way will it affect the B-Mine? Just the damage. I mean, it might explode just a second faster, but that doesn't really matter. It already explodes really fast anyway. So let me know what you guys think about that too. I think that's a great idea. Of course, I thought of it, so I will anyways. But yeah, I'd like to see something like that implemented to make it still a good card, but not nerf it back to where it was. Still keeping the aspect of newness that they wanted to it, but kind of fixing the overpowered aspect of it that came to it, you know? Okay, now this is a card, number 5, is a card that has no counter. Physically no counter. And this is a card that influenced a blanket nerf of all other spells, in my opinion, in their effort to make it not as viable. Well, they ruined a lot of spell cycle. They ruined a lot of people's playstyles like that, and I don't think that's really fair. So here's what I propose, okay? We can counter this card by introducing a new card. The card I'm talking about is Nightfall. Somebody makes it night, there's nothing really you can do about it. It'll ruin entire playstyles like Inhumane Cannonball, Vangun. It's a really, really strong card with nothing you can do about it. I propose a new spell. This is the only time I'm going to recommend a new card be added to the game at this time. This is the only thing I think we need. Spell Break. It cuts spell duration in half. So anything that's on the board, it'll just cut it in half. If we drop all the spells back to 1 dough, which it was never the cost, it was the duration. If we drop them to 1 dough, this card can cost 2 or maybe 3 depending on how they decide the spell breaking works. If it's gonna just break all long-term effects on the board, including friendly, that's debatable whether it should be 2 or 3 because it's kind of a neutral effect. But if it's just going to cut all enemy durations in half, I think it should be 3. This includes Disco Ray, Duct Tape. I think it would include the magic missiles as well. Somebody drops 10 dough on missiles, you cut it off at half with the spell break, and they only hit 5, and they wasted 10 dough. A lot of value out of that, right? This would break the problem with Nightfall too. It would cut the spell duration in half, so your units would get their range back faster. They won't be able to cycle back to it quickly. I mean, if they have all the 1 dough cards in their deck, maybe. But even then, if you're good, you can just hit the spell break again. What do you guys think? I think this is the only new card that we need, and it's to kind of put back the way things were. Kind of fix a lot of stuff that got ruined, because I know a lot of people were bummed out when their playstyle got completely demolished by just an unnecessary blanket nerf. You know, I wanted to have Sheriff Justice on the list, but honestly I have no idea where to even start to fix him. And these may not be perfect ideas either. These are just my thoughts. You guys definitely let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Let's have a discussion. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this time. Also, in addition to me being on the day shift, so you'll be getting more content, I also upgraded my computer recently, which also means more content. That's very exciting for me because I don't want to do just World War Doe. I love the game, but I want to have some other stuff on the channel as well. Some interesting, some fun, but definitely going to be branching out. And the ability to introduce higher quality content is always exciting. So thanks for watching to the end, y'all. It's been your boy Luxtor. Make sure you hit that sub button and that bell button. It's been a pleasure. Let's chill to the next episode. Peace.